Hello everybody, welcome back to the OS World Cup 2021. It is time once again for the quarterfinals. My name is Dimash, and joining me here for this lovely match is OMG4s. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm doing great. A very interesting match here. To sort of, well, not to kick off the quarterfinals, but certainly to carry it on the Saturday. Indonesia versus Romania. Both very good teams that really I want to see advance and see them do more damage into the semi-finals, but this losers bracket is incredibly tough. We've seen some really high-level teams drop early, and so we have a match like this. Indonesia versus Romania. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, there's a lot of matches coming on, which, in my opinion, are definitely matches you would more expect to see in semifinals. But just throughout the years, each team and each, so many players just got so much more involved in community tournaments, and thus elevated pretty much every team across the board. And because of that, you see so many powerhouses, but there's plenty of powerhouses even for quarterfinals to lead up on. And I'm really excited to see this one especially. Indonesia performing extremely well throughout the entire tournament, being a top 18 seed, but Romania is definitely a team not to be underestimated for a lot of pretty easy carry performances from a lot of people. I can see them definitely taking a bunch of points off them and perhaps even a win, but personally I'm favored for Indonesia here.
Yeah, Indonesia definitely coming in as the higher seed. You have those higher skill cap players, and we're getting to the point now with the map pools that they're getting really tricky, harder than sort of what you expected from the qualifiers. So you're going to start to see certain players begin to get skill capped on some of these maps, which I would agree with you in the sense that I think that it's going to hurt Romania a bit more than this Indonesian side. But again, we'll have to see. As I believe we're just getting some last little things ready.
Alright, going into the ban phase, I would definitely expect Romania to ban anything speed heavy or tapping heavy, because on those picks Indonesia definitely showed up and have a solid form and roster on which they're really comfortable on. So I can definitely expect any DT2 or DT3 bans, and a normal 5 ban, perhaps even a normal 2 ban if they truly want to. But normal 2 can be still slightly up in the air, but it's more like a 60-40 for Indonesia than all these speed heavy or stamina heavy picks.
Yeah, I'm really curious about, in particular, No Mod 6 this week. Which side that particularly favours, because I feel like, depending on the roster they put up, No Mod 6 could go either way this week for either team. I don't think it's the first time we're sort of seeing it in the World Cup this year. Who it's really going to benefit. It's a very unique map. Of course, Devious Panda always brings in some spectacular No Mod 6s, but it's interesting because Indonesia have got some very good sort of gimmick players, but of course Romania, you think of players like Badu to just absolutely crush maps like that. So it's a tough call, No Mod 6. Who really has an advantage on it?
Yeah, No Mod 6 is probably going to stay open until each team has about 3 or 4 points, because that's when you start losing your comfort picks, and that's when I would actually expect No Mod 6 to ever be picked, because otherwise you have a lot of very obvious picks where Romania goes for the free mod / hidden in some cases, and Indonesia just goes for their DTs and normal 5s, and some other nomads if they truly want to. After that, I think I would then only expect a normal 6 to really happen here.
Yeah, definitely not a early round pick. Of course, we do have the bigger map pool this week. It has expanded, of course, with the, like I mentioned, the 6 nomads, the 3 hiddens, the 3 hard rocks, the 4 DTs, and the 3 free mods. So you have a wider scope of pools, which for teams that have particular skill sets can benefit them in the sense that they get an extra map under their belt. But of course, you do have to win more points to get through the stage, so you can't just rely on those extended pools to help you through. But it definitely does help. Does look like we're still having some issue getting all of the players up and ready, but we will we'll continue to try and get them as we finally get ready for the pick and ban phase. So it looks like Indonesia will have the first ban. And again, do they take a free mod or do they remove something from hidden? Tough choice.
They're actually banning Nomad 6. Okay. I wouldn't have really thought of Romania to straight up win that one, but if they played it plenty of times and they all feel really uncomfortable on it, I guess sure, go for it. You don't have to practice it.
Mod 3 coming out from Romania. So both of these teams deciding to take something from Nomad to start this out. Very interesting. Very interesting. But you can see where Romania are coming from. You know, that Nomad 3 is particularly tricky at this stage. You know, quite a lot of consistency. Which, you know, may require the highest skill cap that Romania might not have.
Yeah, Nomad 3 definitely, when each of these teams have played it, Indonesia 100% fought bet on it. That's one of the Nomad which they can definitely go for. It's a decent ban, especially if you only think you have Badu to potentially carry it. Really depends on how Romania feels on it as a whole as well. Alright, but I do have to expect at least a speed-related ban from Romania, unless they prepared pretty well for it, and they think they have a form and roster.
Yeah, not too sure. I'm assuming that's what they're worried about.
If you just go by stats from the previous rounds, you definitely see Indonesia being a clear winner in every single stage on those speed picks, because Indonesia just has a really solid foreman lineup. Romania does have a foreman lineup for it, but they seem to be slightly more inconsistent on those picks, and they just come up short in terms of combo.
Yeah, they definitely do that. So we have another ban due to come in from Romania. So I believe they've got about a minute left to choose that second ban, and they are going to get rid of the DT4.
Okay, so they do want to try and match Indonesia on those speedier picks. Alright, it will be interesting to see if they actually just double down and prepare a lot for the speed picks, or if that will come and bite them back.
I mean, I guess there is that thought that maybe that Indonesia might not be able to do as well on these speedier picks at this stage. You know, if they've run into perhaps a bit of a skill cap. Some of these DT maps, they're very tricky at this stage.
Yeah, but this is definitely a clear invitation for Indonesia to just start picking the speedy picks and see what happens from Romania.
Yeah, definitely agree. You know, they're open, go for them, see what you can do with them. But it's interesting for Romania, they seem to be banning a lot of the sort of altish type maps, you know, that require a lot of sort of finger control and bit of snap aim as well. You know, that DT4 in particular is, you know, very sort of old style mapping, you know, from Lesger, and it's very interesting. Hin 2 coming out from Indonesia as their second ban. Not really too surprising, considering this Romanian side.
Yeah, that Hidden 2 is brutal, and if there's a map where you can have a one-man FC carry performance, it's gonna be that one on Badu. Yeah, it's just a really tough map in general. You need to practice it and be comfortable in Approach 8, which is something in a lot of stages you don't see, because if the Approach 8 is just an A map, you only really need to be comfortable with Approach 8. You don't really need to practice it, but this one requires a lot of practice.
Yeah, it definitely does. And again, you know, something else I noticed is that Indonesia seemed to have particularly targeted Devious Panda's maps.
You're right.
Which is a shame, but you know, you can see it. You can see it. You can see why they might have done that. He has a particular style of mapping that I think, you know, you either shine to or you shy away from. And Indonesia do not want to battle Romania on Devious Pandas.
Yeah, absolutely. But now we have the first pick from Indonesia. Do they just jump right into the obvious picks, which are the DT2, DT3, Nomad 5? Or are they taking a step back and maybe starting a bit more spicy? Because, you know, if Romania keeps it open, maybe they pick into it, potentially. Would Xavier pick down the line?
Yeah, if there's no rush to pick those maps, and you know you've got all three, which of course they do. You know, you don't need to go into it straight away. You can look to do other parts of the pool. You know, whittle down those picks that Romania have left. But, you know, again, they've still got things like all of Fremod. They've still got 2 hiddens. You know, Romania will have a fair amount of picks that they will probably go for. So it's a risky late game strategy, especially if those early picks don't work out for you.
Yeah, I can definitely see Indonesia starting with Haro 2. I can also see them starting with Noma 2. Slightly spicier and not as clear-cut of a win, but still favored for Indonesia nonetheless. Well, and they're going right into DT2, so they don't shy away from it. They do just want to meet Romania head first on those speedier maps. There's a bit of a technical hiccup here, but nonetheless we're getting right into the match pretty soon. So far, Romania has banned Nomad 3 and DT4. Maps you would maybe expect Romania to sometimes play, but judging from the Nomad 3 performances of Indonesia, not too surprising. And DT4 maybe being slightly an extension of that, also not very surprising.
Yeah, I think Romania are going for a much, you know, a very different strategy that we've seen from them from previous weeks. You know, I think with the map pool increasing in difficulty and size, I think they've decided that, you know, we can take this from a different approach. We don't have to necessarily play it as safe. So I'm guessing that's their strategy anyway. I mean, I could be completely wrong. But
yeah,
it seems like that from their bands.
The bans definitely, for me personally, have been pretty interesting. I want to see where Romania goes with this and what their picking strategy is. Because maybe they just have something planned and just practice specific maps in a pool which you would more expect Indonesia to win. Because once you practice those contested picks, where you do have a chance but you're slightly less favored to it and you get it to a 50-50 or even 60-40, I mean, that's pretty solid, because that just removes a lot of home field picks out of the opposing team, because then you just have those 2 or 3 picks they are definitely favored on, and you answer with question marks. You have to answer with those, because the enemy team did practice on those slightly favorite picks, and once they're not free for you and they're not very favorite for you, it's gonna be all about how flexible you are. And if you want to go for those spicier, harder free, hidden free type picks,
yeah, they certainly become available for you. And yeah, still unfortunately having those technical difficulties. We do hope to bring you back into the match very soon. We're just we're letting the suspense build, aren't we, Phil?
Right? Yeah. It is. You know, the best type of season is being hungry. No matter how bad the food is, if you're hungry, everything tastes like heaven. So we're just a slight tease here, just waiting, suspense building up.
Oh no, we love it. So here's a good question. What map, if there was one map in this pool that you particularly want to see these two teams play, obviously, you know, aside from the ones that have been banned, which one would you choose as to be an interesting map between these two teams of Indonesia and Romania?
I mean, just judging from the band, I would love to see every single speed pick, so those DT2, DT3s and normal 5s, because those will be hotly contested. And if either team takes all 3 points, that is going to be such a deciding factor, because those are like hotly contested but slightly favored for Indonesia. And if Romania makes those 3 picks happen and they win on them, that's extremely huge, because there's still a lot of comfort picks left for Romania afterwards. And after that, there's not really a specific map I would love to see. Noma 2 is a bit interesting, because it reminds you the most of the qualifiers Noma 2, because it's slightly less comfortable, and that qualifiers Noma 2 for both teams was neck and neck. On every comfortable Noma 2, Indonesia definitely performed better, but that's slightly spicy Noma 2. There is some potential for Romania to take it, and I think that will be maybe picked down the line if we have a close match. And I would love to see which team just pops off on that pick, because once you have 1 or 2 FCs on that map, that's a carry performance, and that's all you need.
Yeah, and I think for me, myself, I'd love to see these teams go and play Hidden 3. You know, it's a really classic Zai map. It's got a lot of history, and I think as well, especially like with some of the flowing streams on that, it will be particularly brutal. It's going to catch somebody out, especially towards the end, which can make for really exciting matchups. I love .357 Magnum. It's a great map, and I'd love to see pop-off play from either country, but I think that would, between these two teams, you know, Romania probably has a slight advantage on maps like Hidden, but again, I think it will be a really interesting map to see played between Indonesia and Romania.
Yeah, that Hidden 3 is also a bit of a toss-up, mostly because Indonesia is the better number 2 team, but Romania is the better Hidden team. So who do you favor on the number 2 Hidden map? Obviously it's slightly spicier than just a straight up number 2, but it does have elements of both, and you need to be comfortable in both to really pop off on that one. And the question is, can Badu stream the BPM and perform on that map? Because if he can't, well, he'll have to resort to his number 2 brethren, who played and swap in for the number 2. And there's not really too much of an overlap between people who are really good at number 2 and people who are really good at Hidden. It's just down to the player and if he played a lot of Hidden or not. You don't really see a lot of overlap there.
Yeah, and I think if it comes down to sort of, like you said, you know, the idea of being similar to a No Mod 2, you know, you have to favour Indonesia on a map like that, which is why I think it'd be so interesting, because, you know, it's the side of Romania being strong on Hidden versus Indonesia being, you know, stronger on the flow stream aim of a map like No Mod 2.
Yeah. And the hard rock 3 is also something which might be slightly interesting, because I have personally no clue who's actually gonna take that one, because it's so up in the air. I think potentially Indonesia, but it's all about how much you practice the map. Because that map is something you need to practice. Because if you don't, your accuracy is gonna suffer substantially. And that's gonna ruin any type of chance you had at winning the map.
Yeah, especially when you consider the comeback potential required. You know, let's say your whole team breaks and you're the only one holding. You know, your combo's good, but if your accuracy's not there, it's not gonna allow you to make up that ground you need to pull that point back towards your side. You know, so the accuracy is so important at every stage. And again, it all comes down to how much practice you're willing to put in on the day. But again, just to keep people informed, we are having some technical difficulties behind the scenes. Just trying to get the lobby back up and running again, so we can get this match between Indonesia versus Romania underway. The match has not been cancelled, no need to fear. We are just having some technical difficulties at this point.
Yeah, so far in the quarterfinals we had one match, which was Australia versus Singapore. Was a pretty explosive match in the beginning. Simmered down after Australia then pretty much took it 6-3, I believe. And well, this is the second match. We'll have plenty of matches to come. Hopefully this will be the only delayed match of the entire weekend. We do have plenty of matches lined up, and we are back in the lobby.
Oh, it feels good to be back. Well, we've debated long and hard about which team is going to be victorious in this one. You know, maps we'd like to see, but I suppose we'll just bring everybody back in. Forz, do you want to just remind people about this DT2, Indonesia's first pick?
The DT2 is pretty much all about your tapping hand. If you can't tap this one, it's pretty much a go next for you personally. You don't really miss on the aim on this one. You should only miss because of stamina, or because you're not comfortable enough and your cursor starts shaking because you're actually tensing up that much for this BPM. It's all about the tapping. And yeah, if you miss on the aim, that is a pretty bad sign for your team, at least on the future speed heavy maps.
Yeah, there we go. We are finally getting this match underway. Indonesia versus Romania, the first map being DT2. Kicking this off, we're off to a very close start here. Romania with a slight lead. There are some issues with accuracy. Rowley in particular seems to be having some issues, but his team is there to support him with the accuracy. They do finally drop the lead to Indonesia, though. It's very slight at this point. And look at these streams. Romania wanted not to ban this map at all. They left it open for Indonesia and they picked it straight away. As you see, first break coming in from Lucrise.
Yeah, the map is really long, slight accuracy advantage for Indonesia at the beginning, and now the comm advantage as well. With the Eternum over there, the double S right now, just shows you do have that one pretty much almost FC potential here, with, who knows, even maybe an SS potential. But Indonesia just seems pretty comfortable on this throughout.
So we did see that one break from the Indonesian side. Rexys does drop the combo, so it's 3 full combos on either side of the board now. But there is a slight combo favour for Romania at this point, as Lucrise was the first to break and is recovering quite nicely with that combo, so they will hopefully slowly try and pull this over to their side. But Romania not having a great time on accuracy here, which isn't favouring them as we approach this last quarter. They are struggling to keep the accuracy high as Lucrise will find another break, and it's just a difference of comfort on this map. Indonesia bringing in that more comfortable style. They got a lot more confident on this map, and they're keeping their accuracies high, which is helping them keep the scorebar over on their side.
It's extremely close. One miss of any of these FCs can still pretty much throw the lead into the other's direction.
Yeah, we do see the break from Rexys, but it's not going to be enough. They needed a full combo drop from Indonesia to take this back. They didn't get it. Indonesia very slightly hold on to this lead in a very close first map.
Okay, despite this going towards Indonesia, Romania definitely showing up on these maps, and this is the reason why they kept these maps open, because they did think they can definitely combat Indonesia on these picks, and I don't know, one more miss by Indonesia, and that would have been Romania's point. So keeping those maps open, definitely something they prepared on, and they estimated and correctly judged themselves to be better on, or at least being able to contest it.
Yeah, Indonesia definitely probably were hoping that they were going to win that a bit more cleanly, but a point is a point. Indonesia are the first to score, and Romania going to shout back straight with free mod 1 as their first pick.
Free mods not too big of a surprise, because on those free mods you can finally have the way your roster works. Pretty much you can have them shine, because you have so many varied players who are carries in their own skill sets, but you can combine all of them into one lobby on those free mods, which is the big advantage here. Like, for example, Badu, you can have present and carry in free mod 3 with his hidden, for example, and his teammates can take a bit of a breather on no mod and one on harder. But Indonesia does have a pretty good team all around. I think Romania shines the most on the free mods.
Yeah, and again, we see with free mod 1, you know, it's Falcon Sound team, and when you have a Falcon Sound team map, the only mapper that comes to mind is Jonathan LFJ. He's just synonymous with them at this point.
Oh yeah, every time we get Jonathan LFJ on the board and Captain, you always hear about the Trail series, and for good reason really, because the music is really good and suits itself pretty good for tournament maps, because of the high intensity throughout. I mean, that's generally all like type of RPG video game music tracks, because that's just the way they build up. They try to be hype throughout, because the battle hype, and it just suits itself pretty well here.
Yeah, and again, for a first pick from Romania, this is as good as you're gonna get. You know, there's a lot of potential from this roster. You know, whether they'll overmod on a map like this, 230 BPM, I'd be surprised to see multiple hard rocks from either side on this map. Hidden maybe a bit more likely.
I think on both sides you just go your 2 nomads, 1 hidden, 1 hard rock, because the players who would rather play hard rock on an approach 8 free mod, I think they should be kind of on the cusp of what's truly comfortable for them, but they should be pretty okay with normal on this one. It's not a alien type of density you see in the ranked section, so you do come across this type of density here and there.
And so with that first pick for Romania, they've gone with free mod 1, and we can see the mods now. We see Eternum going with the hard rock, Badu going with the hidden for them, and over on the side of Indonesia, you see Krez going with the hidden, Lifeline going with hard rock. So very standard lineups. No overmodding, just what is required. So everyone trying to focus more on the consistency rather than trying to give either side an edge.
Alright, 230 BPM jumps, decent density for all the hidden and normal players, just pretty tough mechanically for all the hardware players. And it has some 1/3 streams down the line in the second half of the map. They're not too speedy, so they should be doable.
I always love hearing it. The old doable. But yeah, starting this out first quarter of the map. Not a massive amount has happened. Both teams holding onto their full combos. It really is coming down to accuracy, and both teams keeping it very high. You know, we've got multiple SSs on the board, but it slightly favors Indonesia. But again, it's only slightly. So little in this in the first quarter. This is looking to be a good one.
Yeah, so far strong performances out of the gate from both teams. No misses even on those jumps.
And so far, past the halfway point. Both teams keeping it at such a high level. This might come down to a single break, and it's Eternum who drops the hard rock just after the halfway point of the map.
Yeah, the absolute worst point he could have missed on, because he only gets 2 halves of the full combo.
Indonesia showing up on this free mod 1, still holding on to those 4 full combos. Good accuracies across the board. They need to hold on to them. Eternum will find another break. Vinu goes for Indonesia, but because of the break from Eternum, they're still going to keep the advantage. We're into the last quarter of the map now. 3 full combos to 2.
Oh, that's a break by Skydiver. And by Vinu once again. Romania is holding on strong. It's 150k points in terms of lead. There's still 20 seconds left, so this should be Romania's point if they keep on holding strong here.
Yeah, they need to hold on to all of their combos now. They do flip it over with very little time left. Eternum goes, but Skydiver goes as well. They're going to maintain that score gap. Romania will steal their first point, but only just once again. Man, what a first 2 maps we've had so far. Very close matchups between these two teams. Only about 100k between them on both these maps. Insane.
Yeah, absolutely great performances from both teams here. Romania isn't gonna have any easy points in this entire match here. Indonesia definitely showing up even on those free mods Romania favorite maps here, and it's gonna be a really close match because, as you saw, both of these maps so far have been in some less than 200 points of 200,000 points of difference.
Yeah, the score gaps, regardless of which side you're on, is very minimal. So any break point that's going to come in is going to be huge for either team. Because again, both teams are going to have to work so hard to pull those back. But such good consistency from these teams, you know, really high level scores. Shows why a lot of people were, you know, a bit saddened by the fact that this is only a quarterfinals match. The semi-finals, which is, I think a lot of people predicted both these teams would get to. Sadly won't happen for one of them. Again, it shows just how intense these quarterfinal matches are. There's so many good players that really nobody wants to see go home. But over to Indonesia now for their second map pick.
Yeah, another surprise with the DT3. Pretty much it's a trinity of Nomad 5, DT2 and DT3, and suddenly we see 2 out of 3. Do we see 3 out of 3? Do we have a bingo here? I don't know, we'll see in 2 picks, but so far DT3 is gonna be the pick. The speed double time pick. Similar as DT2, just slightly faster and less stamina heavy. Chances are, if you're really good at DT2, you're probably good at DT3 and vice versa. So Indonesia, no surprise here, and they always picked those fast VT maps even in early rounds. Romania shouldn't be surprised here.
Yeah, I'm expecting very similar lineups to come out from both teams here. Does look that way from an early point of view. You know, see RHO, Vino, Lifeline, and Rexys coming for Indonesia. They're going to stick with the same lineup along with Romania. Lucrise, Rowley, Eternum, and Camocelia. Same lineups. No major changes. Again, like you said, the map being slightly different might provide a very slightly different result. Again, it was a very closely contested first point. 42,000 points separated them on DT2. So this should be a very exciting map.
Alright, let's see if this one will be as close as DT2. Alright, all the players are readying up and the match is about to start. On Indonesia's pick.
Both of these maps were left open by Romania. They had the option to ban, but they chose to ban other maps instead. Whether that'll work to Indonesia's favour, we'll have to see. Early break coming in from Vino to start off this map. Romania going to have the early advantage starting this one off. It's so minimal. He's also looking to have a little bit of issue with the accuracy inside of Indonesia. And Romania just leading slightly with those combos to start this off. He's recovering well.
There's a miss from Romania as well, so the advantage goes back to Indonesia after the early miss by Vino.
Camocelia having a second break there right as we went into that break section as well. He's slightly frustrated with that one, but for Indonesia it is in their favour. The recovery from Vino. A bit of a sigh of relief, as Lucrise will also find another break for Romania. RHO goes as well though. Camocelia not able to recover though. Still very comfortably in the pocket of Indonesia. They still have two full combos on either side. Vino has that very nice supporting combo. It's just an early break from him. As Camocelia struggles to recover.
Yeah, for Romania to come back here, we need more misses on the Indonesian side. We did see one by Rexys, but it's still slightly favored for Indonesia here.
Yeah, considering that score margin, 200k, Lucrise, Romania couldn't afford that one. It's not the break they wanted. Now it's looking so unlikely for Romania to take this point. Indonesia once again have the score in hand. It's unfortunate for Romania, but Lifeline drops. But is there enough time? I don't think there is.
Yeah, it's only 5 seconds before the end of the map. That would have been a comeback for Romania if there was just more time. Unfortunately, but Indonesia is holding on strong despite having less SCs. But they do have slight accuracy advantages in the form of Row here with a 98.96% play. Highest accuracy in the lobby, Eternum right behind him with the full combo. Great performances all around. The just before the end miss from Lifeline. But yeah, strong showing by Romania getting 2 SCs on there, but unfortunately the supporting combos weren't enough.
Yeah, that one one a bit more decisive at 200,000 points. But again, you know, they had two of the highest scores in the lobby, Romania. It just, unfortunately, like you said, yeah, the supporting combos just weren't quite there for them. Again, free mod 2 from Romania. They're going to stick with their guns just as Indonesia's doing.
Yeah, no surprise here. Once again, Romania definitely want to go down the free mod route. I wouldn't be surprised if they picked free mod 3 right after this one. Yeah, we will probably see a repeat of free mod 1. You see Badu on the hidden. You perhaps see Eternum on the hard rock. Unless they found someone else who's slightly more comfortable on those jumpier CS 6.5 maps. But otherwise, a map where you can maybe expect 2 hard rocks out of Indonesia. I wouldn't expect a triple hard rock lineup. If they do, that is slightly risky, I would say. But if they truly think so, that they don't perform better on Nomods, then that is an option to them. Way more than on free mod 1. Because on free mod 1, Nomods should be pretty comfortable. On this one, if you can't play approach late, you're in for a bad time.
And again, I'm definitely assuming Krez is going to go hidden on this. And, you know, Lifeline will take. Lifeline is one of those, you know, sort of typical. Will take the hard rock on pretty much any map that's required. Bring in Dito for Indonesia, so maybe a bit of a change of strategy. Skydiver, you assume, is going to go Nomad. So maybe Indonesia slight overmod if Dito's going hard rock. I don't know how to say.
Yeah, let's get surprised by the mod combinations. I want to see if Indonesia feels like they need to pull out more hard rocks, or if they're comfortable with the 2 nomads. Wait, that's 2 hiddens?
Wow.
What? Okay, so Indonesia, it just goes for the 4 mod lineup, and it's not the triple hard rock, it's the double hidden. Which is, sure, it is pretty risky, I would say. I would definitely prefer playing this one on Nomods, but if you think it's gonna come down to an 8-way FC, Indonesia's favorite. I don't think it will be an 8-way FC though.
On a map like this, it'd be a very big surprise to see something like that, especially, well, it won't happen now. After Wind or Romania will find the first break. Indonesia, with their 4 mods, will have a slight score advantage, even without the break from Afterwind, as long as they keep their accuracies relatively high. They have that buffer that they need to match Romania point for point. With 4 mods, that is a tough ask for any team.
Ooh, Afterwind not snapping any of those smaller jumps there. So far, Indonesia is definitely the driver's seat. They still 4-way seeing, and if that's how all the test runs were like, I'm not surprised they're going for the 4 mods, but it's only over when the map finishes.
Yeah, still plenty of time for this to go the other way. But it's a good sign for Indonesia, as they still continue to hold the 4 mods. Whereas Romania, they're still holding on to 3 full combos. It's just Afterwind who has had some issues. Sort of first third of this map, and it continues as he finds another break right before the slow section as well. Brutal break.
Yeah, we'll have a bit of a build-up where I can definitely expect some misses to happen. We're just before liftoff. Do we see hundreds flying off into the sky? Do we see them? Do we see misses? No, we don't.
Nobody goes. That's quarter of the map. Indonesia are looking to set an incredible score here, still holding on to all 4 of their full combos. Dito will drop finally. I think it's come way too late for Romania to do anything here. Badu finds a break for Romania. He will not have a full combo for his team. And this is going to go to Indonesia. And there's still so much of this map left. I don't see a way for Romania to come back into this.
Yeah, there's still 3 FCs going on strong on the side of Indonesia, but that miss by Badu has definitely cemented the point towards Indonesia. We usually a miss by Lifeline, but it needs a complete collapse by Indonesia here if they want Romania to get the point, and it's a miss by Skydiver. There needs to be a miss coming out from Crest because there's a 400,000 point lead and there's only 10 seconds left. And I think this is still, despite the late misses, a point for Indonesia.
Yeah, Lucrez did find a break at the end there, which just cemented already incredible play from Indonesia. What a play. Just look at those combos. Yeah, considering they had 2 hard rocks and 2 hiddens, that's a top class score on a map like this 3 mod 2, and they open the floodgates. They take the first breakpoint of this match.
Insane accuracy by Crest, getting the 1/100 hidden full combo. Just solid performance by Indonesia. I can't complain. That's just really good by them. Absolutely good. And if that's the reason why they went for the 4 mods here, because they just had really good runs throughout and across the board, I mean, go for it. We did see a bit of a weakness on Romania's normal side, not being too comfortable, but Indonesia just had 4 people showing up as if it's another Monday morning.
Yeah, no issues with that 3 mod 2 at all, to be honest. You know, their accuracies were all within, you know, the sort of 98 to 99 range. I mean, Prez, what a play from him. You know, with the hidden, had 1/100 on that 3 mod 2. No reading issues whatsoever with that map. So definitely the MVP. It's great news for Indonesia that he's playing so well. They now have an opportunity to increase their lead to 4-1 here, their next pick. Do they go DT1 or do they maybe try and get in mod 5?
I want to see the Trinity. I want to see the Nomad 5. And it's the Nomad 5. There we go. We do see the Trinity. It's a bingo.
And what do they win? Well, hopefully another point.
Yeah. It's not going to be the match though, because there's plenty of maps to be left to be played. And Romania does have some options still left to pick, which is good for them. So, but they do need to start winning this Nomad 5. They had a really close showing on DT2, but they quite closely didn't win it by 50,000 points. Nomad 5 is more in the line of that DT2 rather than the DT3. It's right in between in terms of BPM, pretty much, but closer to the DT2. If you're comfortable in DT2, you should be comfortable on this Nomad 5. And Romania has definitely showed that this is more of the comfort BPM range than the high-speed one.
Yeah, so again, you need to rally back if they can. Romania can get a break point here. And no harm, no foul. They're right back on track, but again, Indonesia, they've just looked that slight bit better so far on these maps. Again, a lot can change. So, getting ready to go into this next map. Vino, Lifeline, Rexys, Row versus Lucrez, Camicilia, Rowley, Maternum.
Yeah, you pretty much see a repeat of these 8 players here having played together in the same lobby twice already, meeting on the DT2 and the DT3, and now on the Nomad 5. For now, it's a 2-0 for Indonesia. So far, the Trinity of speed is paying off dividends. But can we see a triple?
Early adjustment break for Roly there for the side of Romania. Indonesia off to a better start. Again, accuracy is going to play such a key role in this one. You've got to keep it high. As we see a break come in from a Turnham now. Opens things up a bit more for Indonesia early on. Starting to pull a score buffer. There's still a fair amount of map left to go. Another break there coming in from Roly, actually. Really opens things up for Indonesia. Romania not having a good time. This number 5. They looked so good on DT2, but they're having some issues now. Indonesia, they're looking so comfortable. Still holding 4 full combos. 2 in the 99, 1 in the 98. You know, it's still hanging on in the 96 range. It's all the combo at the moment. He's the first to drop there for Indonesia, but Lucas and Camosilia go! No full combos on the side of Romania.
One more break by Indonesia, by Vino, but that's gonna be it. So 2 FCs, let me correct it, there's 1 FC left by Lifeline. And such a huge lead right now of 400,000 points. We do see some combos building up around the end of Turnham. But will it be enough? There's about 20 seconds left in the map and the lead is shrinking slowly.
Lifeline holds? There's no way, but just a break maybe. I think it's just too late for Romania to come back into this. Big streams. Indonesia, they get the trifecta. 3 speed maps successfully in the back pocket. They are up 4-1 against Romania.
Oh baby, it's a triple. And do we see another bingo by Romania? Do they just answer with the 3-mod 3? Or are they gonna start picking a bit of a... No, it's... Yeah, they're going for a curveball here on Hard Rock 3, because so far they've only been 1-1 by for the 3 mods, and they're going for the Hard Rock 3, which I would have loved to see, because quite frankly, this is up in the air.
Yeah, Hard Rock 3. Very interesting pick coming out from Romania. I feel like their confidence has been knocked slightly though. Starting off this match, they looked very, very strong, even on Indonesia's picks, but ever since that first breakpoint on 3-mod 2, they've looked a bit rough. So, a little bit of a prayer for Romania. They've gone with something else, whether it will pay off. It's a tough call. You know, against Indonesia, they've got to pull out all the stops against a team like this. Indonesia, they're looking so strong in this matchup, and they have been strong on Hard Rock very much through this tournament, but again, we've really not seen massive amounts from these two teams in the last 2 rounds on Hard Rock, particularly, you know, sort of Hard Rock 1. They've been very sort of limited in picking those maps. Interesting choice for Romania to go with. Like you said, a bit of a toss-up, but let's see if it pays off for them.
Yeah, if your comfort picks don't work out, you need to go for a curveball. Because Indonesia has definitely just shown up to play, being pretty competitive on the 3-mod 1, and just outright winning it on the 3-mod 2 by quite a bit, just bomb-modding the map and winning out by a substantial lead that, I mean, Not a lot you can do after that one. You can probably just mentally almost give up, because your plan was to pick Fremont and take advantage of your hard rock and hidden specialists and have a bit of an easier time on the normal. And it just did not work out because Indonesia is just showing up guns blazing. But hard rock 3 is something we didn't really see a lot in the early stages. And it's definitely a skill set that hasn't been tested yet, so you don't have any stats to go off of. You only have those player skills and kind of estimate them. You do have some people to watch out for, like Badu, but as much as I see Badu on the Romanian side, I see plenty of players on the Indonesian side who can play hard rock pretty comfortably.
Yeah, definitely. And the first break coming in from Fuma. That's a good sign for Romania, but Roly will answer with a bit of a trade-off. It's going to keep things very even. So we're going to come down to those remaining full combos and their accuracies. Lifeline having a bit of issue early on. Fuma will find another break. Romania, they have a bit of a buffer here. Roly tries to recover, but both him and Fuma trade. But that favours Romania. Let's get that earlier lead from Roly. Fuma struggling once again. Fuma seeming like a bit of a, just a fourth man, just a filler player. Indonesia on this one having a bit of issue as Krez will go on the side of Indonesia as well. It's not looking good for them.
A solid 3-way FC still, 3FC still holding strong by Romania. And if they keep on going strong, this should be their pick.
And Krez unable to recover. He finds another break there. Already having issues with Fuma, but he is starting to recover with Roly. Romanian side, but again, with those 3 full combos, Romania still continue to build the lead, but Lucros finds a break, which opens things up a little bit.
Oh, right before the jump part, which should be not that much of a break part. The jumps here are pretty low spacing.
Again, look at that score part. It's just not going anywhere fast enough for Indonesia. There's only a quarter of the map left. If they want to pull this back to their side, they're going to need a full break, or a break from the full combo from Romania. It's all up to a tournament. Badu, can they hold on to these? For their side, they need to hold on a little bit longer to keep it out of the way of Indonesia at this point.
So far, they have been mostly carries of their team. Another miss by Krez, and they're still holding on strong here. Lifeline is trying his best with his common skydiver as well. Krez once again missing, and that's the map. And it's gonna be 200,000 points of an advantage for Romania.
There you have it. Look at that. 3 S's on the side of Romania. Very strong performance from them on this Hard Rock 3. It's just what they needed to answer to that breakpoint they previously had. But Indonesia, they're only 2 points away from closing out this match. But what do they pick now?
Yeah, you do still have a few picks where you're slightly favorites. You can still go for your normal 2, you can go for the Hard Rock 2. Definitely an option here. Because essentially if you just repeat the last map's performance and you take the duel of the picture, that would be, I would imagine, Hard Rock 2. Because you're losing one of those carries. I don't think Indonesia will be bold enough to just go for Fremont 3, because they do have other maps they definitely want to pick first. But I think Nomad is definitely something they can just try and be a bit more adventurous there. Otherwise, hard rock is pretty solid all around.
Yeah, there's also maps like .357 Magnum, which might favor Indonesia if Romania can't put Badu in for a map like that. If he can't stream the BPM required, they are going to go with Nomad 2.
Okay, we do see number 2. Still can't get over the background.
Background is legendary on this map.
When Mazrin just ran over the end and is like, hey, can I use this background? And then he sent me this one. I went, oh no, where did you find this one?
Oh, you gotta love Mazrin.
And Mazrin has been stepping up his background game. Usually he just went for the dark backgrounds, and then he suddenly took a book or a page. I mean, I would rather say a book because of the amount of Usumi backgrounds he started using. Jesus Christ, man, that's going places, and now he's going for the lower tier gardening here. Alright.
Yeah, this No Mod 2 I feel is a big step up from what we've seen previous weeks. I don't think we've seen it necessarily in the bracket stage, but certainly in the qualifying stage, it's probably got a similar feel. Yeah. I would say sort of No Mod 2.
Yeah, both maps feel similar in different ways. It's also the length and how the map just does not let go. It's really consistently difficult throughout the entire map. And adding to that fact that you have streams that change angles and spacing quite a lot and quite frequently. Obviously that's kind of the name of the game for number 2, but this one even more so. The angle changer are sometimes a lot more unorthodox, I would say, for a comfortable number 2. So anyone who performed really well on the previous round number 2 can maybe struggle slightly here.
So we do see some newer players coming for Romania, Christy and Nanoya, for this No Mod 2. It has been what they've traditionally gone for on these maps. Nanoya in particular has been a strong player for Romania on these No Mod 2s, very dangerous. Christy had some issues last week on this map. We'll see how this week plays out. So far though, everyone off to a very strong start here.
We're getting into the first KI, and this is where we definitely see a few misses. If we don't, then this is going to be a really high level lobby on number 2.
One quarter of the way through.
Okay, last stream in the KI, and that's still an 8-way FC holding strong. But don't forget, this map has a max combo of about 1,700? So this isn't even halfway yet. Look at how many nodes there are. There's a bit of a slowdown in the middle, but it's gonna go right back into tapping hell. Okay! Roche just missed 20 nodes in a row, or at least that's how it felt like, because he just only saw X on the screen.
Lifeline goes as well. And suddenly, Romania, Vino goes as well. That's 3 breaks back to back for Indonesia. And suddenly, Romania, they do get a break from Christy, but it's 3-1 in the slower section of the map. Lifeline finds another break. There's no recovery from Indonesia whatsoever from that break.
I don't want to jinx it, but can we talk about the elephant, address the elephant in the room, which is Eternal with the double S?
The man is on a higher plane right now. Insane performance coming out from Eternum, but really his team is there with him. You know, both 99s so comfortable on this map. They are smashing through this. Christy will find another break for Romania. If Indonesia want to come back into this, it's going to have to be an incredible implosion from Romania, but Camosilia will go for Romania. It's 2-1 full combos.
That wasn't a place you wanted to miss on. You shouldn't miss on those pretty easy sliders. You see another miss by Lifeline, but you do have the double FC holding strong by tournament. Nadia misses across the board. Lifeline completely losing it on the solo here. His cursor is shaking. He's feeling low tier god staring down his soul in the background, and he's having none of it. The tournament, on the other hand, just casually strolling around with the 2k4 combo on an SS. And there's about 10 seconds left, and it's such a demanding lead by Romania.
Yeah, Eternum does break though right at the end. Skydiver will hold on, but that's just not enough time to get any additional score out of that full combo.
Absolutely disgusting play by Eternum. I can't believe this man. Holding an SS for this long, he did miss in the end, but his accuracy is still stellar.
No, incredible. Just incredible. But again, what a breakpoint for Romania. You know, typically a team not known for their ability on No Mod 2 have just absolutely popped off on that map, and they are straight back into this. They have their pick in hand now to tie up the score against Indonesia. And we knew this was going to be close, but man, what a game.
Yeah, No Mod 2 was a little bit of a toss-up, was slightly favored for Indonesia, but those early missiles by Ro and Lifeline cost them so much.
Yeah, the break from Ro was really probably the nail in the coffin for Indonesia. It was such a bad miss as well. It just chain missed. He was just unable to recover for that entire stream. He had to just completely reset himself, and then his teammates began to break, and just didn't go Indonesia's way as they had hoped. So Romania, do they try the free mod, or do they just?
Oh yeah. Are they going for the free mod? Do they want to go for the complete trinity? It backfired once on the free mod 2. It almost backfired on free mod 1. There's still other things left, like hidden 1. So they can delay the inevitable of free mod 3. But I think they're actually going for the hard rock 2. Oh, I love this. This is great. Oh my god.
A bit of Nemesis. A bit of Nemesis.
Oh, I see what you did there. I mean, when you have a Nova 2 and you kind of have like a 60-40 for Indonesia, and then you win by this much and the turn just pops off, you ride that high and you go right into Hard Rock 2. Oh, I want to see this. I want to see this. Does Romania keep popping off? And is Indonesia not feeling it on the lower BPM streams? They're pretty good on the higher speed DTs and the Note 5, but that number 2 was a bit shaky across the board by Indonesia.
I mean, I have to say, for this pool, this is probably one of my favorite maps. Mainly just because Nemesis came back just to
Oh yeah, Nemesis is such an old map, and if you played some 2013 or 2014 ranked maps, you probably saw this guy. And I don't know, I saw him sign up and we're like, wait a sec, I know this name. Jesus Christ, back when I started playing the game, I saw this guy's maps, and I mean, here you go, he's back and mapping for the OWC. A streamy pick, something he's pretty well versed in. He really likes the streamier picks.
And I love the linear approach to this map as well. Really very interesting style of mapping that you don't see too much nowadays. You know, the flow on this is so good. I'm really interested to see what they're going to go for. But we know Indonesia, they have those two solid hard rock players that we saw on Fremod 2. You know, you're assuming they're going to do just as well, if not better, Skydive and Lifeline. Those are the two to definitely watch on the Indonesian side. It's Ro and Fuma. Can they match up to their teammates? They're going to have to if they're going to want to get this break point. If they can get it, they put themselves in such a strong position for match point.
Alright, slightly different from number 2. It still has its stream element, but a lot of precision instead of the aim control parts. You still have a lot of difficulty on your aim hand because of the precision, and streaming 175 BPM should be something everyone in this 8-player lobby right now can do. And if they can't, then I would be very surprised if they miss because of stamina.
Yes, we see a bit of a trade-off. Fuma, Christie will be the first to drop, but Fuma will find a second break. Skydiver goes as well. Broly will go for Romania, so 2 full combos left. Lifeline Ro versus a Tournament Lucrise. Everyone tries to recover. Christie looks to have recovered nicely, but there is a slight lead at the moment for Romania. Christie with a slightly higher combo. Broly sort of within the realms of Fuma and Skydiver at this point. Fuma finds another break.
Fumbling on the jumps. Oh yeah, if you're shaking on C6.5, you're in for a world of hurt, because this is exactly the pick where you can't shake. Because shaking is just magnified by so much because of small circles.
Oh! There's no room forever, but there goes a big break. Oh, from both sides. Romania lost Roly and Christie there, but Fuma continues to have issues. But Lifeline dropped as well, right at the halfway point of the map. A brutal result for them. They are now down another full combo. Ro, the only one holding the fort for Indonesia against a Tournament Lucrise. It's not a great situation. Romania know they have the slight advantage. They just need to hold on to it. If Roly can negate anything that Lifeline and Fuma can bring up, and he does.
Oh, it's only 200,000 points in difference, but there's only a quarter of the map left, and we're getting right into the last streams here.
And the duo from Romania, Tournament Lucas, have been looking so strong on this map. There goes Christie. Roly as well will break, and that was a big supporting combo for Indonesia gone. And with just Skydiver now, there's nothing that Indonesia can do but watch as Romania tie up the score after that earlier breakpoint on Fremont 2. They have finally caught up. What a strong performance.
Yeah, absolutely gunga performances by Romania here. The double SC, a Tournament Lucas here, and the tournament once again getting pretty good accuracy. There is an accuracy advantage on Romania across the board, but that's mostly because of the nature of the map. When you get higher combos or when you get DFCs, when you miss on this map, you mostly miss 5 or 6 notes in a row, because that's just how streams are. So you do drop a lot of accuracy as well as combo, so they're just cementing their lead even further when you don't miss. So the supporting combos actually matter slightly less. But man, reacting harder too after that number 2 performance, I like it. I like it. It's wonderful.
So we come down to the score. It is 4-4. Everything is tied up at this point. One map pick left for each country. Indonesia will pick first. There's still one DT left.
Yeah.
Two nomads.
Indonesia will not pick Hidden Free after all what they've seen so far. I don't think we'll see Hidden Free. If anything, Romania might want to pick it, but Indonesia is not feeling it on the flow aim right now. They still performed really well on the 3-1, so jump-wise, they seem to be fine. I don't know if that's enough to go for the Nomad 1, Haragon or DT1. I do still see Nomad 4 being a bit of a potential. It is a toss-up though. It is a toss-up.
Well, there it is. The alerts are out.
Yeah, we see
No,
the Nomad 1. Oh. I mean, what can you tell us about Nomad 1s? What does the slot entail, dear Damage? Let's spin it around. You're the puller now. What is a Nomad 1?
What is? Oh, hang on. I know this one. I know this. Oh, top of the head. Top of the head. It wouldn't have to do anything with this. Just a shot in the dark. Aim consistency. Am I close?
I think you're completely correct. Well, there's also a copy pasta, but you know you got 50% of it. You get a passing grade. It's fine.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Yes, it's Nomad 1. Everybody knows the alerts are out. Very standard. Its aim, its consistency, it's long.
It's as Nomad 1 as you can get. It's also an anime opening, right? Like, you can't be more Nomad 1 than this one, quintessentially. And Captain did a really wonderful job mapping these jumps here. Pretty comfortable all around. Pretty fit for tournament play. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's such a comfy map as well. I love seeing Captain 1 Nomad 1s. You know, he's got a bit of an art for it, I would say. And again, we're seeing that sort of Indonesia. They have this sort of, you know, core lineup that they tend to go for. Skydiver and Lifeline, I think, have pretty much been in for every map. Perez has been really strong on his elements throughout the tournament.
Yeah, and his reading especially is also pretty on point. Like, his 3-2 performance there was absolutely insane. Getting the 1/100 hidden FC. And the 3-2 is also, I would say, mostly jump focused, so Press being in here. I don't doubt any second that he will perform worse than any other member in his lineup. I think a solid formal lineup for Indonesia, but you can't forget Romania. They do. If you take the qualifier Nomad 1 result, which is, I would argue, pretty close to this map, Romania would win by 400,000 points, and that's after 2 plays. Even the worst performance of Romania would beat any of Indonesia's Nomad 1 performance on the qualifier. So that is something to take into consideration. Nonetheless, 400,000 points, that's just one miss of a FC in the middle of the map. So just 1 second of not being focused is enough for this to go back into Indonesia's court. But Romania having a really good form and lineup. Let's see if they can pop off once again.
Yeah, traditionally, Romania have performed better on this map throughout the tournament. From qualifiers up till now, they have had solid performances. Indonesia, they've just had that additional break, which has made all the difference, but obviously they're hoping that maybe this time things will be different. And they're after they've had to start a turnum. A big shocking break after win will go as well. Blue cries as well for Romania.
That is a complete disaster for Romania. Triple misses. 1/4 into the map. There's a miss response by Ro, but that's no SCs left by Romania, but 2 misses. Alert! We have no single SCs left on the Romanian side. Oh
Ursa struck again. 1 Nomad 1. And Skydiver will find a break as well, but Lifeline and Krez hold down the fort. They will have to break if Romania want to come back into this.
But do we spamming question marks? Yeah, that's how I would also expect Bading to feel here, because this is... You hype up Romania to be the stronger Nomad 1 team. You hype up Indonesia to be the stronger Nomad 2 team, and look what happens. Absolute destruction here. Indonesia still hasn't won it. It's only 200,000 points, and if Lifeline and Crest miss right about now, there is comeback potential. Oh, Eternum is gonna make it a bit harder though for Romania by missing once again after building up a 400 combo.
And it's again, what do those full combos mean for Indonesia's scoreline? They're still holding at about 200k lead in points. They need to hold it. Ro will find another break. Lucas goes after win. There's nothing left on Romania apart from Badu.
Yeah, after those misses, if Crescent Lifeline hold on for 300 more combos, I think this is a done deal. Because it's going to be so hard to bridge that 300,000 point gap.
Yeah, just unbelievable scenes here. Romania, some would consider the stronger aim-focused team. And nerves have not done them any favors as Crescent Lifeline continue to hold the full combos. With a quarter of the map left, 500k in it.
After Romania leaving open Nomad 5, DT2 and DT3, you expect those to be the most highly contested picks. But no, it's gonna be Nomad 2 and Haruk 2 that are gonna swing it back for Romania. But the Nomad 1 here, as a response, is looking really good for Indonesia.
Yeah, they picked smart. They picked something that Romania should be comfortable on, but ended up getting tripped up on, and Lifeline still holding the full combo. Looking to close this out. After win, we'll find probably a final break along with Ro. Two being the only one with a massive combo on the side of Romania. It's just not enough. Indonesia will reach match point. Guarantee themselves a tiebreaker situation. What a solid pick from Indonesia.
No FCs, unlucky last minute miss by Lifeline, but still 960k points here. That's enough for his team. No greedy combos coming out of Romania. And there is spawning with Rock 1!
Oh boy.
What am I witnessing? Okay.
Is this Romania? Are we sure this is Romania?
It for sure isn't. Just pinch me. I think I'm dreaming here, but I mean Romania. If you just look at the mod bracket, Romania won Harder 2, Romania won Harder 3. What do we pick? Well, let's go for Harder 1. Yeah, that is perhaps a decent strategy. After that Nomad 1 performance, I hope Romania can just shrug it off and perform on this one, because this one is pretty similar to Nomad 1. You have a lot of jumps and pretty much only jumps. And you saw Romania kind of lose it on those Nomad 1 jumps. It is harder. So you have smaller circles, so the jumps aren't as wide. And I've seen afterward mostly miss on the really wide jumps, those 2 or 3 times where it becomes really spaced. This one won't have as spaced jumps, which might be a bit more in the comfort zone. So perhaps that is what they're banking on. But that is such a power move. You don't care how Nomad 1 ended up going. You just go for your Hard Rock 1, just shrug it off and see what happens.
I think it's probably shocked Indonesia just as much as it shocked us. I don't think they were expecting Romania to pick this at all. Judging by how slowly it took them to get the lineup in for this match, they were not. I don't think they were expecting to play this after that. Here we go. Romania. It's the last chance saloon. They have to win this to force the tiebreaker.
Match points for Indonesia. Do we see a tiebreaker? Do we not? Damash, I'm hyped. How about you?
My body is ready, regardless of the result. This has been an epic battle between these two. It's going to be interesting. Romania don't definitely have this in the bag. Like you said, they've gone with the power move of Hard Rock 1 to try and push this to a tiebreaker. Again, with the way Nomad 1 went, Indonesia, they look strong on this type of test of skill. Can they do it? Will we see it? Romania to stay in OWC 2021. It's hard at 1.
Oh no, really early miss by Skydiver and by Kress. Is this the play? Is it paying off by Romania? Is it a hard rock curse?
Rolik will find a break. That evens things out a little bit. Still slightly in favor of Romania. 2 minutes, 18 seconds. We will have a decision of a tiebreaker or a match result. So far, Romania are in a stronger position. Those early breaks coming in. Present Skydiver.
Deep breath, 30 seconds in, early misses coming in for Indonesia, but that's a miss by Rolly. So the lead is going back into Indonesia's favor, but that's a Kress miss. Once again, equalized.
And the instant flip shows just how close this is. Rowe will find a break for Indonesia. And again, dropping another full combo. We're nearly halfway through the map now. And Romania, that bar is going to begin to move in their favor. How much can they build up? Can they hold it all the way? After win, we'll find a break. The answer is no. They've got to hold a bit longer now. But they've still got 2 full combos to 1. It's in their favor.
Yeah, it's all up to Badu in the tournament here. They cannot miss. And they didn't miss for the majority of the match. It's all up to these 2 players here to carry the team to the tiebreaker.
That break from Krez spells good signs. Lifeline goes as well from Indonesia.
No.
4 of the map left. I think you know what I'm going to say. Badu for the break! Oh no! But the supporting combos doesn't matter. After win does drop though. Rogue goes as well for Indonesia. It's just Skydiver and Eternum is still holding. Roly is there with supporting combo. Fours. It's time.
It's time for the curse to us.
It's tiebreaker time. Romania get their 5th point in this match. We are 5 apiece. In the quarterfinals, we are going to a tiebreaker. Indonesia versus Romania. What a game. Tell us, Falls, what are we in for?
We're in for 7 minutes of even more pain and suffering. You have everything you want in this tiebreaker. You have your longer streams, so you have your number 2 aspects, which we saw Romania perform pretty well on. So in the second half, plenty of streams. Romania, pretty on point on streams, will hopefully handle those pretty well, but the rest of the map, you do have 1/3 sections. So the alternate paths, which Romania completely banned out of the pool. So they didn't want Indonesia to look at the alternate maps, and so they banned it. But you cannot dodge the alt paths in this map. It is the tiebreaker. You do have some jumps here, which, nomad-wise, Indonesia was a bit favored. This isn't a hard rock map. But man, you do see the Nomad 2 and the Nomad 1 aspect. Both teams holding strong on their own skill sets. And it's 7 minutes of that. Just sprinkled across the board. This is gonna be a banger of a match.
Oh, it will be. And Indonesia, they have called for a 5-minute timeout. Something that is allowed by either team. To take a breather, reset themselves, and again, you can understand why. It's all to play for.
Can we appreciate the way we got to this? Indonesia picking number 2, what they would expect to win, completely losing it. Romania answering hard rock 2 and winning as well. And Indonesia winning the Nomad 1 and Romania just not giving a single damn about how they just completely lost to the Nomad 2 and respond with hard rock 1. That's pretty much a close cousin in terms of skill set. I don't know, those Romania picks are the biggest dog moves I've seen in a while.
And yeah, again, there is so much on the line on this one. Both of these teams, just to set the scene, losers bracket of the quarterfinals. Both of these teams are expected to play tomorrow. Only one of them can advance. We will be saying goodbye to either Indonesia and Romania after this map. That is what is in store. That is the pressure that is on these two teams right now.
Oh man, the second match of the weekend, and we already see a tiebreaker. That is gonna be a really good way of just starting off everything, setting the tone for the rest of the weekend.
Yes, and 2 minutes for a tactical timeout. Is what we are in for. So Indonesia need to start getting ready with their lineups.
Yeah, a bit of a radio cast here for the match that is happening in parallel to this one, which is South Korea versus Norway, which started, I think, about half an hour ago. That match is currently 4-0 in lead of South Korea. So we might potentially even see both of this and that match, both these matches just conclude at the same time after this tiebreaker, because there's plenty of time for two maps.
Yeah, and again, whichever one ends first, which you know, if it continues going South Korea's way, we will let you know the results of that map, or that match, sorry. But the players are ready, the audience is ready. Are we ready?
Am I ready? I'm not sure if I'm ready for this one. Like, just looking for the past performances, I do see Indonesia here having a bit of an upper hand. But man, Romania stepped up so much on the number 2, just completely outperforming Indonesia there. And Eternum, the man of the hour, almost getting that SS on number 2. And playing every single, I think almost every single map so far, isn't he? Man, what a Chad here, just coming in hot.
Oh
putting
yeah.
Hopefully his team on the back. I mean, hopefully everyone here is having a great supporting combo, but if anyone sees this map, ooh, that's gonna be spicy. But we'll get introduced right into the first potential break, which is the alternate section for about 10-15 seconds. Might see a few misses there, but we'll get right back to stabilizing combos right afterwards.
And again, Romania, they don't have, you know, their captain in arms to bring them home. It's not a map he can particularly play, and already we see very early breaks, but they favour Indonesia slightly. Camosilia and Roli outside of Romania. Indonesia have Vinu with the early breaks, so it's 3 full combos to 2 to start this out, but we've got a long way to go.
Yeah, Kress is coming in hot with the hidden here, which isn't a surprise to many. His hidden prowess is just really good across the board. And this map isn't too hard on hidden compared to the last week's tiebreaker, which was a nightmare on hidden. Bunch of misses, Lifeline missed, Camosiala and Rolly also missed here. Slight lead for Indonesia, but there's 6 minutes left.
But again, Eternum finds a break. Once again, Indonesia, they're off to the strongest start. Nani is still holding in the full combo for Romania, but it's not a good position for them to be in. Rolly struggling quite a bit in this first quarter. He can't bring it back. Vinu finds a break though for Indonesia once again. So there's only 2 full combos to 1 here.
Yeah, those 1/3 pass you see right now are mostly hurting Romania. You see a lot more misses on their side than on the Indonesian side! But you do see a lifeline window miss. That is gonna be a full combo gone. Oh, no, actually, never mind. He already missed before. I think I saw Crest miss, but was it a Ghost miss?
I think it was, yeah.
I think I'm just hallucinating at this point because of the height.
It's gone to your brain. But there's another double break for Indonesia. Vinu and Lifeline go again. It's
man.
holding the fort. As long as they do, Nania, there's nothing that can be done. Camasilia really struggling now. Cannot build a combo back up. Does not favor Romania, but they do have Broly and Eternum, who are recovering nicely. Vinu and Lifeline can't recover. It will make a big difference. Probably what's keeping things as even as it is at this point. Again, so much pressure on both sides. Nania under so much tension to hold. Skydiver and Krez putting in the work for the team. And that hidden is going to help them along those lines.
Yeah, another 1/3 pass. We might see more misses coming in from the Romanian side.
Can't afford any, but that goes Skydiver, a full combo gone.
Oh, whoa!
Asia now. Krez is one-on-one against Nania at the halfway point of this map.
Wonderfully done by Romanian side here, holding us combo, and it's disruption, just complete misses all around the board from Indonesia. They have no combos left, and it's Naoya and the Eternum once again with Roldi right behind them. What did I just witness?
Unbelievable scenes. Indonesia find a 4-way reset.
And you know what? They're coming into the number 2 part, which they won pretty handedly.
Yeah, this is their No More 2 lineup. The second half of this map desperately favors them. Camasilia will drop for Romania. But look at the score gap. It's 300,000 points in Romania's favor. With Nanoya still holding on to a full combo. Eternum with 1500 combo. Broly with 1300 combo. The pressure right now will be so high on both sides of the equation.
I knew I wasn't ready. You look at the stats, you look at the past performances, but stats don't care about your feelings. Look at the performance, it's all about how you perform on the day. And Romania is playing really well.
Stats mean nothing here at this point. Camasilia finds another drop for Romania, but it's not one of the big combos that Indonesia need. They are trying to mount a recovery. Lifeline, Skydiver, both holding on to the 600 combo now. Krez finds a reset. Vinu is slowly building, but look at Nanoya still holding on to a full combo. 3/4 of the way through this map. This is nearly 7 minutes long.
You can keep your statistics, but I prefer the magic. The magic of Romania happening strong here with Nanoya and Eternum and Lorodi. I can't believe it. Is Nanoya poised to see this? Or did he miss on a 1/3 in the beginning?
No, he has not missed. He has not missed.
Man.
He is still holding on. Eternum is right there with him. This is 7 minutes of 6.9 star difficulty. Broly does find a break. That's a big combo gone for Romania. But unless there's just not enough time, Romania are going to advance. But can they do it in the style of Nania with an FC? He breaks!
And the really spicy number 2 streams. Reminiscent of number 2 here, you see some misses by Crest and Lifeline. Eternum holding on strong, as he did on the number 2.
And it's going to be Romania who advance in the losers bracket. Their run will continue, but it has not come easy. What a victory against Indonesia in the quarterfinals of the losers bracket. Wow.
Man, what a match. The way both teams just adjusted their pick strategy flexibly, especially Romania. Once Fremont went walking out, you didn't pivot into Fremont 3, you just started picking other stuff and answering on what Indonesia is good at on the day instead of going for stats. And what a match. Romania performed so well.
So with that, we say goodbye to Singapore. Oh, sorry, Indonesia. Singapore left earlier. Never mind. We do say goodbye to Indonesia, but man, they have had a stellar performance this year. They performed so well in the qualifiers and have left, unfortunately, a little early. But take nothing away from this Romanian side. They are here to play this year, but they still have another match that they've got to get through this weekend, but that'll be tomorrow. But we have